It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Giants and the Silver and Black. And it's all up next.
Well, there's never a shortage of shows or sights and sounds throughout this city, but for the next few hours, all eyes are glued to Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and as we look at this matchup, every time there's something different to focus on. So I'll just ask you, what do you see here in this one?
Well, Rembrandt, you've given me a pretty blank canvas to focus on, haven't you?
Yeah.
Where do you think I'm going to go with this?
Oh, secondary?
You know me well, right? In a game like this, it's always about the secondary. Can they handle the passing attack and make a few plays?
And we are underway at Allegiant Stadium. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by their 5'11 quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Here's 2nd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Tracy. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, Wilson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, we can talk about it like it's just a basic route, but how about the timing on this one? Lined up on the right, runs a deep in route, and how about the throw? Right on the money. Bam, puts it right in there and on his hands. Nice completion, really good pickup.
They'll run on first down. Tracy, and he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down. Now a 2nd and 6. To throw is Wilson. Over the middle, he completes it to Robinson. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll leave him with 3rd and a full yard to go.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
Wilson now off the bootleg. Oh, what a read on the outside as it's intercepted. And the Raiders will take over possession here up at the 44. That right there is the inauspicious start that they were hoping to avoid, the turnover on the first possession.
I love how you use those college-bound words like that, inauspicious. Well done. I really appreciate that. But here's the thing for me. I'm just wondering if their game plan is incorrect. You know, I think they felt like they could come in and throw it around pretty well. That interception early, they may rethink how they go about attacking.
So now it's the Raiders' turn to go on offense for the first time. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
I still remember back in 2013 when he was drafted out of West Virginia. He was coming off of back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons for the Mountaineers. Hadn't seen as much game time in recent years, but at one point, a capable starter in the NFL.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And no room that time. Getting it to about the 46. Five in the secondary now for the Giants here on 3rd. Here's Smith. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely, maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. And now a decision here on the opening drive. 4th and very short, this part of the field. What do you think they do, CD?
I think you go for it. I think there's a lot of game left to be played. I like the advantage that they're trying to create here early. I say be aggressive and try and get it done.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. Remember last time out they threw the interception on their 1st drive. Good news, their defense backed them up, so it's still 0-0 here as they begin their 2nd possession.
Yeah, and one great way to judge a defense, how do they handle what we call sudden change? When all of a sudden, you know, it goes against their offense and they have to run out in the field and try and put out the fire. Give this one great kudos for getting out there and not letting that interception lead to points. Excellent job by them defensively.
They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. 2 straight runs of 5 yards, 1st and 10.
So finally, a 1st down run. The offensive line has got to feel a whole lot better about themselves because I think they were starting to wonder, were we ever going to solve this defense and be able to do what we like to do, which is run the football.
On 1st down, Tracy. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. They run the counter. Tracy. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st. On 3rd down, Tracy. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
I really like what he did there because he took his practice work and converted it to game action because he used his hands, got off the block, worked laterally and stayed to the outside, and finished off the runner for a loss.
On 4th down, Jamie Gillen on to punt for the Giants. A punt of 46, a return of 5. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. 2nd drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that 1st drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the 1st drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion, guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that 1st drive. I'll try to do better here. 2nd down and 4. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
A shotgun snap for Smith. Flush to his, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the scrambler or the dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. And New York set to take the field. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. There's a short one caught by Johnson. So the completion good for just 3, and it's 2nd down. They run the counter. Tracy, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
That was a terrific play, causing a loss. As a middle linebacker, simple. You can either fill holes or you can attack them, as he did there.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. To the sideline and incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Jamie Gillen now on to punt. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Here's 2nd and 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. A Raider 1st down, 17 yards.
We really didn't have any doubt that he was going to be one of the top-rated rookies coming into the league, especially as a runner. And he's given us no reason to change our minds. That's a big-time run, and the production that he showed us in college is translating very well into the National Football League.
Now Smith. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I spotted man coverage on the outside. I expect we'll see a lot of that from this defense as this game moves on. And that was a good job there as that one was knocked away.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. First down marker at the 31. It's third down. Now Geno. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. He tried to buy some time to the right. So, Charles, when a guy gets out of the pocket, what's the focus of the quarterback?
Most of them keep their eyes downfield. They want to try and make a play throwing the ball. Some of them, they want to tuck it and go. But when they scramble, in this case, as you said, to the right, you're cutting the field in half. So good defenses kind of converge in that spot, and they don't give you much territory to throw the ball. He had nowhere to go with it, ends up getting the ball stripped.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Max Crosby. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. Third down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down. Then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back. But it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Throwing now is Geno. So that flag obviously takes away the good yardage that they had on the play.
And talk about a momentum shift, because we can visibly see this celebration shifting from one side of the field to the other as soon as everyone saw the flag.
Second quarter from Vegas, the homestanding Raiders with a football here, as they've got it with a first down coming up. They'll start this drive out on the ground, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle third of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He didn't just hold the line. He provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. Able to break the tackle, but then quickly brought down just outside of the 5. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down. Geno now to throw. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
Well, it's not going to be a first down, but that's a nice job of picking up yardage on 3rd and long. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you, and in this case, it wasn't enough to pick up the first down.
Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the New York Giants here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. He finds Robinson. Room to maneuver at the 35. And finally brought down at the 31-yard line. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. Tracy, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Ball on the 27. Here's 2nd and 6. They'll keep it on the ground. Tracy, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
Now it's Wilson. There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 17-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy.
And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. Malik Neighbors from 17 yards out. And the Giants post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Well, on that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open to the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
Gano the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a 1st down. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. There they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves them with third and about 6 yards to go. Off of play action. Here's Smith. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bobby Okereke. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Giants touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick six. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did and came through with a big-time pick six.
Gano for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Smith now to throw. A quick throw there is incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And this offense on third down today, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Smith. He'll get the tight end Bowers involved there. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll be 4th down.
I thought maybe when he caught, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
Here's A.J. Cole now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Giants' drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10. Wilson. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And he'll get positive yardage there as he'll be touched down. Here now, 2nd and 4. Up the middle they go. Tracy, limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Wilson. That one taken in by Neighbors. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
And they were backed up to start the drive, but not anymore. Now, that's the play call that the offensive coordinator had in his head. You saw the end result. He wanted to go ahead and push the ball downfield, and that's what they did. And they wound up with good yardage there to get things rolling.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. There are times on carries like that where he looks a little bit older than his rookie status.
How many times have we talked when we've gone out to dinner about how precocious these youngsters are that come into the NFL now? They play at a higher level at a younger age. The stars aren't quite in their eyes as much as it used to be, huh?
And the Raiders have got him. Max Crosby, that is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Now it's Wilson. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. So they'll get nothing out of that play. And that'll force upon them a 3rd and 14. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side of the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Here's Wilson. Now this thrown deep for Slayton. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I usually hesitate when I say a guy's got world-class speed, but this guy might. So let's fire the starter's pistol. Let's go. If you've got him, you've got to try and use him. A lot of anticipation with the ball in the air, but no, incomplete.
On to punt, Jamie Gillen. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and it'll be Raiders football 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Smith. That's complete into the hands of Myers. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. From the 43, here's 2nd and 6. To throw is Smith. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing is Smith. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt, averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. Open target here, Darius Slayton. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Good defensive call right there because they had someone shadowing him along his entire route. And he was right there ready to provide a hit that prevents him from making another catch to his big start.
To throw is Wilson. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. Two minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. On third down, Tracy. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On is Jamie Gillen to punt this one away. .45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Over the middle, he's got Myers. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Second and a couple. Smith. That one complete to Trey Tucker. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
And this may be the one to build on right here. It's the second quarter. They've got nothing on the scoreboard as of yet. They need to put something together, and this is a good start as they get the completion there for good yardage and a first down.
Buying time to his left. No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Second and 10. Here's Smith. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
Back to throw, Smith. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. The big man, get the oxygen tank ready. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Giants touchdown. Well, Charles, not only did they fumble the football, but they're starting to fumble away their chances here a little bit. We've got a 3-score ball game now here in the first half.
And the last thing you want to do, partner, is help the other team with what are avoidable turnovers. You want to hang on to the football because you're already playing against a good team. You're just making it easier for them by giving them extra opportunities.
Gano now to add the extra point. And it is now 21-0. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Raider offense going to head out now late in this first half. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. Now Smith. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. But good hands there defensively. And it's second down.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
Now Geno. Short throw caught by Bowers. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Now it's Smith. Steps away to his left, and he'll just get rid of it. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
Not many boos just yet from this home crowd, but they may be starting soon as I'm starting to detect an uneasy murmur through this crowd. This offense, they've been lifeless in this first half. And now here's another punting situation and a 4th down.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And with a 21-0 lead already, no need really to take any unnecessary risks. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down, second and right at a yard. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up, ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Raiders offense and Geno Smith headed back out for this next possession. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets. And it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
From the 32-yard line now, here's a 2nd and 7. Now Smith. That's caught by Tucker. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Smith. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
A lot of times the key is just get him the ball and let him do his thing, and they got it out to him on the left side, and he did exactly that. Excellent run after the catch.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd down and 7. Throwing now is Geno. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. Hate to say it, but that play typifies what we've seen from this offense all game long.
Yeah, don't you think maybe you flip over your play sheet as the offensive coordinator and see the side that says try something different? You know, because this has not worked all game long. They continue to try and get it done. They've got to come up with something a little bit different. Try something special, something they haven't seen.
Anything to score a point. Able to pick up 12 yards, but they needed more. 4th down. They'll try and run for it. And he will have the 1st down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13. Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now it's Smith off the bootleg. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now we've got a Giant player here slow to get up after that last play. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. Here now, a 3rd down and 8. Geno now to throw. And that is incomplete. Credit the Giants defense that time in pass coverage. 4th down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Carlson able to put this one through, and the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
So much of this game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
Here's Wilson to throw. There's a short one caught by Johnson. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That 3rd down conversion good for 23. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 43. Now a handoff up the middle. Tracy, and he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's 2nd down. This a 2nd and 8. Now Wilson has this complete to Daniel Bellinger. First target, first catch, and a 1st down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack.
An assortment of sacks in this game. This one the product of a good jump and terrific effort. Moves quickly off the snap of the ball. Doesn't let up until he's in the backfield and impacting the quarterback.
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Up the middle they go. Tracy. And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Now Wilson. He finds Robinson. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 12-yard line. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Running left is Tracy. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Slot man moves right. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. A 10-yard touchdown run. And the Giants are able to stretch out their lead.
Could not block that one any better. Everyone was accounted for, and a great surge by the offensive line.
Gano for the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it was finished off with a 10-yard touchdown scamper. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. And this group has suffered far too many self-inflicted wounds thus far as we run through some of the mistakes. It's darn near impossible to win in this league when you're turning the ball over at the frequency that they have. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground to the 43, 2nd down. Here's a 2nd and 8. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for a Las Vegas 1st down. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Second down and 8. They'll try the air now with Smith. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. They'll fake it. Now Smith. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It'll be a sack and a loss of 3, but more importantly, it brings up 4th down. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. And New York set to take the field. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Wilson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first two throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on third down to get their momentum going again.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing is Wilson. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. It's Devin White, the linebacker, and they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter, it would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Now a quick throw out wide to Myers. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. Facing a 2nd and 3. Ball on the 10. Now a handoff running through the middle. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. Smith now to throw. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
A field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th. Here we go on 4th. Smith. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Brock Bowers from 4 yards out. And the Raiders are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
4th and goal, and they found a way to throw it in the end zone for a touchdown.
And these defenses, they just like 3 downs, get off the field. But here they had to go 4, couldn't get it done.
A lot of the time, you're looking up and saying, okay, if I hold them for 3, at worst, I give up a field goal attempt. When they go for it, sometimes it really affects the defense because maybe they're not mentally prepared to go that 4th down.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And this is up and good. It cuts the lead to 28-10 now. That time a 6-play drive. And it ends with a Las Vegas touchdown. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. And the Giants ready to come out now. Certainly no reason to panic. They've got the 3-score lead, but the turnover last time, the interception that led to a touchdown, you'd have to think they might not be dialing that up again.
Yeah, probably not. They're still in fantastic shape, though, so I would imagine before he tried it out here for this series, head coach probably just leaned over to him and was like, listen, we're wearing these color shirts. Throw it to those guys, not the others. Try to make a joke out of it and just let them go out there with a little bit more confidence.
They'll come up 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground. Tracy, and space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. From the gun, it's Wilson. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. Here's Jamie Gillen now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4, and the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raiders offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Phillips. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. From the 31, here's 2nd down and 2. Smith. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. To throw is Smith. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Desperation time for Smith on 4th down. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Short throw caught by Bowers. So just 3 yards on the completion there, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's Smith. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's third down. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the fourth quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
To the air again, Smith. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 45-yard line. A nice pickup of 10 means that this drive will stay on track. So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Back to throw, Smith. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Bowers. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Not too many teams will use a first-round pick on a tight end, so you know that when one does, he's got to be pretty darn special.
A small example of why they took him in the first round there. A nice little catch and run to get the good yardage. Now Geno. That's to Bowers once again. And he's brought down, but he has it down to the 12 on a pickup of 12. 1st and 10. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. From the 3, 2nd and a yard. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. From 3 yards out. And the Raiders have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Carlson on for the PAT. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Wilson. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards, good for a Giant first down.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
A short throw pulled in by Bellinger. So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll make it 2nd down. Now Wilson running left on the option. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. And a solid job using his legs. 16 yards and a first down on the keeper.
So finally, at this stage of the game, he lets his legs carry him for a big-time first down. But I think this is all set up by his eyes throughout the game. He's been taking it all in as he's watched this thing unfold. And finally, the eyes carried the legs and took him downfield.
You're right. His longest run of the game waited till the fourth quarter, and maybe that lulled the defense to sleep a little bit. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. From the shotgun, Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 12-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
To throw is Wilson. He's got Slayton on the slant. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Here's Wilson. And it's caught. Touchdown, Giants. Daniel Bellinger from 4 yards out. And the Giants have pretty well put it away here in the fourth quarter.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury. And it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run and he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Gano now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it was finished off with a touchdown by Daniel Bellinger. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The home team's offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
2nd down and 3. Smith. And that one to the right side and incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 11 yards for number 11.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now Smith. That's caught by Myers. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 23 yards on the play. So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Geno now to throw. That's into the hands of his tight end Bowers. And he's down into the red zone at the 16 after a gain of 16. 1st and 10. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Smith throwing again. Over the middle, and Mayer hauls it in. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 1 now from the 7. Throwing now is Geno. Flushed out right. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. Now Smith. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Now it's Smith. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Brock Bowers, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Raiders are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. And, Charles, they continue to have trouble stopping him as he's into the end zone yet again.
Yeah, that's multiple series now that have ended with him in the end zone. A perfect plan on how to utilize him best when they get in close.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. A 10-play drive that time. And it ends with a Las Vegas touchdown. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. Oh, it's loose, and the Raiders have it. Here's 1st and 10. Well, that certainly makes things more interesting. You get the score, then you get the onside kick. A little uphill battle still, but a start.
It's not mission accomplished, but the plan is working. They are in a great spot right now, and the best part, they put the defense right back out on the field after having already scored.
Yeah, they've got the momentum here now.
Passing lanes, tough to come by with so many defensive backs on the field here late in the game. And it's not just the number of bodies, it's their quickness and their agility that makes it tough to complete a pass.
Smith to throw. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Smith's going to throw it. He's going to let it fly. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, this is getting close to a no-win situation now. They've got one final shot. They're on their end of the field, and it's 4th and long. This might require a little extra razzle-dazzle to get it done.
Got to avoid the flags defensively. Here's 4th and long. Smith. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Giants are going to take over in great field position. Down 2 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to go for it. They must have thought they had a play to dial up that they could get it. Well, it didn't work out.
They must have thought, as you pointed out, they had a play, and they were probably looking at the number of possessions that they thought were left in the game. And down 2 scores, they must have felt like they couldn't risk not taking a shot here and giving up that chance.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. And the Giants will kneel it here out of the victory formation. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. So it's a win here for the Giants, and it was thanks largely due to the play of the quarterback, CD, a guy who's been doing it for a while, and that's Russell Wilson.
Yeah, what struck me was how composed he was in the pocket. The numbers weren't spectacular. He had 2 touchdown passes, that's it. But he led his guys on some important drives when they needed it most, and they're going to come away with the victory.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Las Vegas.